On the subject, PWI 500 did drop this week.
Did
Um,
it?
there was some discourse. Of course, number
A
one
little
on the
bit.
list. Number one on the list, Cody Rhodes, second year in a row. Some people were not happy about that, as I would expect. But yeah, let me get it in front of me so I can at least get the top 10 for you guys. As I said, number one, Cody Rhodes. John Moxley came in at number two. Big Gunt came in at number three. Uh, Hangman Adam Page at number four. Hiroki Goto, Jey Uso, Swerve Strickland, Seth Rollins, Mystico, and Will Ospreay rounding out the top 10.
You said Jey Uso, then Swerve, right?
Yes. Yeah, and then it gets the top 10 on the surface. It's understandable. Like there's some qualms you can have with it.
We can get
Um,
into it. I'm sure people have questions.
yeah, there's qualms you can have in the top 10. But when you get into the next 10, that's where I'm just like, all right, what's going on here? Kazuchika Okada at number 11, uh, Joe Hendry at 12, Zack Sabre Jr. at 13, Obafemi at 14, CM Punk at 15, Bandito at 16, Konosuke Takeshita at number 17, Damian Priest at 18, Trick Williams at 19, and then Jacob Fatu rounding out the top 20. Now, let me just say outright. Let me just say first and foremost,
I'm ready.
big fan of Joe Hendry. I think Joe Hendry is dope. I think that the
You
year
starting
that
with love.
yeah, let's start with love. I think Joe Hendry is great. I think Joe Hendry is great. I think what he's managed to do with TNA for the amount of time he's been in the business is dope. I love that he's finally getting more and more attention. This seems like it's leading to him possibly signing a WWE contract and getting even more exposure. I think
Right.
that's amazing. I think it's great that he had a WrestleMania match. He had his own merch. All of this stuff, all of that is great. TNA Championship, great. There's no way, and I mean no way, there is no way you're going to tell me that Joe Hendry had a better year than Zack Sabre Jr. He didn't have a better year than Obafemi. Let's get that out there too. He didn't have a better year than Obafemi. He did not have a better year than Bandito. And he goddamn sure did not have a better year than Konosuke Takeshita. There's no way. There's no way.
You guys, what I did when I got when we I think it was the day before the list drop. I just sent Phil number 11 and number 12. It's just Joe Hendry and Zack Sabre because I knew what was about to happen. I'm like, oh, Phil's about to go ham, and he was, as expected, went ham. He he added Kevin on, like, what's
No, I
up,
didn't.
Kevin? What you did? No, Kevin went after you, right? You're right.
I did not.
Kevin came into your mentions defending, and yeah. I'm on the committee, like I said, you guys. There's a criteria. This, of course, you wouldn't look at this list and be like, Righteous Reg is on this committee, is what I would like to start this by saying. There's criteria, there's different things, there's different way that people are judged with these, there's numbers. WrestleMania moments take prominence over things, Phil. We've talked about it many times on the show. People screaming your name at every show you're at takes prominence over things. Criteria is different in different stages. Do I believe that Joe Hendry had a better year than those four wrestlers you said? 0%. But that's not how, it's not the Righteous Reg list.
Yeah. Again, I know he had a good year, and all those things are true. Turned into like a big, massive meme outside of wrestling world. He did have a WrestleMania moment, but we're talking about Obafemi, who for the most of this evaluation period was a champion. At the beginning of the evaluation period, he was North American champion, longest reigning North American champion. Then he went on in January to win the NXT championship.
Defenses all the way until 2 days ago.
Yeah, so I feel like that in itself is wrong, that Oba is below Joe Hendry. I also think it's kind of crazy that Kazuchika Okada is not in the top 10, because Kazuchika Okada is another one that was champion for most of the evaluation period, because he was Continental champion, and then he had a big match with Kenny Omega at All In, unified that belt with the
He was
international
champion
belt.
for the whole time, wasn't he?
I believe he was. So
Yeah.
I think that in itself is kind of incorrect. I think Okada should be in the top 10. But when we had conversations about this and I was trying to predict who I thought was number one, I was like, man, Zack should be at least in the top 5.
Yep.
Because and I was like, personally, to me, I think Zack should be number one. Because when you list all of his accomplishments, it's hard to tell me that in this case, that 12 other wrestlers had a better year than him.
Right.
So I thought, hey, even if I'm wrong about this, that Zack's not number one, he'll at least be in the top 5, right?
Nope.
Which and when Kevin addressed this, Kevin was like, well, because I said, because somebody was like, it feels like Goto's in the spot that Zack should be in. And I said, but Goto had a good year. Surprisingly great year as champion, proved himself to be a draw. But he didn't have a better year than Zack Sabre Jr. And when I said that, that's when Kevin was like, well, we felt like he had better defenses. He drew bigger houses. Yeah, but we're talking about a guy that in this evaluation period was the first British G1 Climax winner, won the championship in October, went to the Dome, defended the belt back-to-back nights. First person to ever do that, by the way.
Yep.
First non-Japanese wrestler to walk into Wrestle Kingdom as champion and to walk out as champion. And then even after that, he won the belt again. 2-time IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in the same evaluation period.
In the period. Yeah.
Had a monster run in the G1 Climax. Didn't win it, but still had a monster run in it. And he's not top 10? That don't make sense to me. First Tokyo Sport MVP winner that is not Japanese since 2002. Nah. He should have been at least in the top 5. I mean, for my money, he should have been number one. If he's not number one, like I said, there's no way you're going to tell me.
I thought your resume backed it up, honestly.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to tell me that 12 other wrestlers had a better year than him. I definitely there's a lot of people in the top 10 that I fuck with, bro. Like, yeah, I think the Ospreay, Mystico, they all deserve their spot. Swerve had a great year as well. He was still champion at the beginning of the evaluation period. He belonged there. Jey Uso, great year. But nah, I think Zack should have been above several of those guys.
I agree that that resume, those 2 wins, the back-to-back domes, that's crazy. That's what there was a couple of debates I went in with knowing I was gonna have. The Goto and Zack Sabre thing was one, because it was like, well, Zack Sabre felt stronger to me, but Kevin, that was Kevin's thing, like you described, was like bigger houses, like there was a kind of energy when Goto was champion that New Japan was unexpected. And I was like, I mean, I hear what you're saying, you know what I mean? But that's what PWI is, though, Phil. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's kind of hard for me. Look,
Jey Uso is number 6, and I'm like, what is Jey Uso doing up here? But
I mean, Jey Uso, for what he had this year, Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania moment, beat Gunther at WrestleMania. He belongs in the top 10. But
that's what we got to debate on the moments you described compared to the moments that Jey Uso has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, when you talk about the energy behind it, the energy behind Zack in Ryogoku, when he just pointed at that belt and people were like, it's happening, it's coming home, he's winning. Nah, it was different. I don't know how you don't put that guy in the top 10. I thought that was egregious. I don't know how you defend that, but it is what it is. I think that there were multiple people here. I also kind of don't like this idea that there's just one New Japan guy in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Because I do think that. I do think that Goto.
I think sometimes I'll say it as somebody who's on the committee. We're too trying to please everyone. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but that's what the vibe feels like when we're doing this top 10. Like, oh, we got to get a TNA guy in, we got to get a this guy in, we got to get a this guy in. And it's like, what if we just get who the best guys in? And every time I say that, they're like, that's not how this list works. Because immediately there were some people that were like, Cody Rhodes should be number one. And I was like, in what world? But like, I was outbid, you know what I mean? Just because that's what the game is.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I get it. Cody had a great run as champion.
But it's just, I don't want to be the magazine that's like WWE is automatic, and that's what it felt like. This is the first time in the committee that it felt like Cody. I'm like, well, how was Cody Rhodes automatic? Just because he's the biggest star in the biggest company is what I was told, and I was like, that's worth something.
But see, and that's what's funny to me about wrestling in general. As somebody that does media, we constantly hear about how biased media is, how everybody treats AEW like they're just like these media darlings to all the people that are like hardcore wrestling fans. But WWE is still covered heads and tails more than any other company in this business, and rightfully so, because they're the biggest company in the world. And there's certain things that come with wrestling for the biggest company in the world. That gives you, a bigger spotlight, that gives you more influence because more people see you. And I get that part. I don't know, man. I think that like Cody had a good year. WrestleMania main event, what at this point 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
That's pretty massive. Like having the big match with Cena, even though the match was not good.
Big star. He's the number one star over there, Phil. He main evented a bunch of shows. Like he did it.
Yeah, he had a good year, but I don't know, man.
It didn't feel as strong as his last year.
It didn't feel as strong as his last year. I think you could have made an argument for other people to be number one for sure. I don't think that Cody was my biggest gripe from this list, though. I think like Cody being number one, I didn't necessarily agree with it.
Like I said, it wasn't super egregious because he is the biggest star in the biggest company,
Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with it, but it wasn't my biggest gripe. Like I said, that's not nearly as egregious to me as Zack not being in the top 10 at all. Like I just think that's just wrong.
I'm with you totally. I think there needs to be some the criteria, not maybe tweaked, but like we need to figure out if it is like we have to do what. Does there need to be a template on how we develop this, or can we go in raw? Could like Zack and Goto fucking killed it? Can they have been 6 and 7 or something? I don't know. How do these things work?
Yeah, I think that Zack and Goto should have gotten a spot at the top 10, but yeah, there's some people it's hard to argue with their spot in the top 10 as well.
Definitely.
Like it's hard to argue with Mystico, for example. Like you can make an argument that Mystico should have been higher. I know that Dave was saying that in his opinion, based on kayfabe, Mystico should have been number one.
Dave's resume, like your Zack Sabre resume, I was like, yeah, I mean, if you sit down and break it down, like it's not WWE, but Mystico's selling out houses every Friday for like 500 years. You know what I mean? Like he's been doing it for a long time on top. And when he comes out, like he's a top guy on there. Definitely earned his position. I thought that they were saying recency bias because I was like Hangman Adam Page when I was going into the list because it was kind of post all out, but it was like, or all in, but it was like, yo, what do you mean? Like, look what's going on here. So there was, I think the people that got in besides Zack Sabre Jr. got in.
Yeah. But see, even Hangman, like I agree with Hangman with the year he had. I agree a spot with him for him in the top 10. Hangman didn't have no better year than Zack, dog.
Not with that resume.
I hate to be the sole guy that's like New Japan flag waver. Like I've been a big Zack guy for this entire time. Like, but still, Zack had a better year than Hangman, objectively. Like, come on.
I'm with you, G. They call me AEW young boy. I'll go in there waving that flag, and I think you should come in there waving that flag because what you're saying is valid. I'm saying it's a strong ass resume. Like, there's some people that never have done what he did and never will do what he did.
Yeah, big historic feats that non-Japanese wrestlers.
I was gonna
don't
say,
do.
not a Japanese wrestler. He ain't supposed to be doing this.
And yeah, no, I think he should have been way higher on this list. There
But
were
again,
other.
I'm not mad. It's PWI. Like I said, it's a criteria. At this point, I come into the BW 500 of like, now I just want like the wrestlers that are really going to appreciate this thing to get on this list so they can do it. Cause like the top 10 guys are like, oh, cool. Or like, fuck this, who cares? But the people that are, again, like I said with the BW 500, 350 and 421 and 165, those are the people that really care about this list. And that's what I go in there to try to help.
Yeah, I mean, there were some wrestlers here that I was happy to see them get recognized, regardless of where their spot is. We talked about Myron. Myron made the list at 107. I was glad to see Bolton Oleg made it. I think he made it he made it at 111th. Man like Jerice, man, that guy, he's one of those guys that I feel like in the right position with the right company, at some point this is going to be all his. That guy is so talented. So really excited to see him.
Super charismatic. Him and Reed, I'm like, why are him and Reed just floating, dude? These guys are like the future of the business.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Myron is not signed anywhere.
It's crazy.
I don't get that at all. But yeah, good to see people like them. Alex Kane, of course, was also dope. Landed at 134. Shelwa, who just had the fire match with Lee Moriarty. Good to see him get recognized. It was somebody else that I'm forgetting that was saying that they've never made the list before, and this was their first year. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, nice.
I can't remember who it is. Sorry.
Yeah. See, when I hear stuff like that, or when it eventually gets to stores and people are going to start buying it and going to buy it at the grocery store, and the story is always kind of the same of, I used to come to this store with my mom and now I'm buying this magazine for my mom or some. It's the best.
Yeah. I couldn't rail against this like I really wanted at one point, because I was like, oh no, this is wrong. And then when I saw some of it in entirety, I was like, oh no.
Oh, good for me though. I thought I had a good laugh at it, and I thought, again, you brought some very valid points, and Kevin addressed a lot of people on Twitter, and if you still have your gripes, he's there. Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah, man. Look, shout out to Kevin for
being a tough spot,
for being in that kind of spot and being a good sport every year. He knows he's going to take heat from people no matter what. And he doesn't shy away from criticism. I know it's got to be annoying to spend weeks upon weeks working on something, and then when it drops, you got to hear all of these people like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense," or "This list sucks." And
this is what I would have done.
Yeah, I get that side of it. It is very hard to list 500 wrestlers every year and put together a list of them. But
sure is.
Yeah. Serial Man rounding out the list at 500. Very hilarious.
Slam, baby.
Nice to see people giving it up to Serial Man. Yeah. The homie Il O'Neill getting his spot like he does almost every year. Very funny as well.
Yep. Great to see them people. They will be spotlighted here in a couple weeks on another list, the BW 500 that's getting worked on. So get ready, you guys.